Welcome back to the channel, everybody. So I've been going kind of back and forth as to whether I wanted to do this video right now on this car behind me or do something different or just not do a video at all, but I decided to go ahead and do the video on this car today. And well, let me kind of go into it. First of all, this is a 1933 Ford Tudor sedan, or Tudor as they like to call it back in the day. And there's some projects and things that need to be done to it, and I kind of wanted to get those projects done before I actually did the video on it, but things are just going very slow with other projects and things like that. Now, it's not all Eddie's fault. He has had a lot going on and a lot on his plate lately. I do understand that, but everything's kind of running at a snail's pace right now, and it is what it is. It'll get done at some point in time, but it's just been kind of like going down a rabbit hole. More things come up and things happen. We fix something, something else happens or whatever. And I just, like I said, I know Eddie's been preoccupied with other things right now. So there is that. Certainly I could hop in myself and start doing some projects, and I may well at that. I don't know, probably not, because I don't usually do projects, but getting there. As far as this car right now, it needs a little tweaking, a little adjusting. Right now I think the timing's off, or maybe it needs some ignition work or what have you, because it kind of breaks up around like 4,500 RPM, give or take. And it doesn't have brake lights, so I really don't like driving it any more than I have to, but I can run it around the block, which I was going to do today anyway. So I thought, if I'm going to run around the block anyway, might as well go ahead and do the video on it. So yeah, that's short story long. Let's get into it. So as I said, 1933 Ford. This is definitely not the color I would choose. You know, it's quote unquote coral is the actual name of the color, but you know, for us guys, it's pink. It's definitely pink, and it's a nice car. It's definitely a unique color. You won't lose yourself out there at a car show. Definitely going to be able to find this car, but like I said, not the color I would choose. Some people really like the color, other people not so much. Me, it's okay, it's fine. Like I said, if it was a car I was going to keep long term, and I mean long term, there's a lot of things I would do to this car, and one of the things would be a color change. But because I'm not going to keep it forever, I know this is going to end up being sold well before I'm sure I move to Tennessee. I'm going to leave it alone at this point in time. So this car was actually part of a package deal. Bought this in the Nova from a car buddy of mine, actually a little bit better friend of Eddie's. But Eddie kept saying, hey, you should go over and check out his stuff, because he's got a few cars. He wants to sell some stuff. He wants to streamline. So I ended up going over, and he just made me a package deal on this one and the Nova that I felt was pretty good. I figured I could at least get my money back, so I went on ahead and bought both. And I've got to say, this car is extremely nice to drive. It's very, very enjoyable to drive. I really do like it a lot. But I had seen it for sale. I knew it was for sale, and I'd kind of shied away from it because of the color. But the color has grown on me. Like I said, not what I would choose first as far as a color choice, but it has grown on me. So let's talk about the drivetrain first, and then I'll kind of show you the interior and talk a little bit more about it. We'll take it for a quick spin. That there is what really sets this car apart. You can see it's a K&K Racing engines. It's a 605 cubic inch, and yes, it is a 605 cubic inch. You can see that thing just barely, I mean, it just barely fits in there. It is a lot of motor for sure. Now you would think 605 cubic inches, that's a big motor. Those things turn out a lot of horsepower, and it is for this type of car. It has definitely turned out some decent horsepower for this type of car. When I first went to look at it, before I even drove it, I was asking the previous owner what he thought horsepower wise it was turning, and he figured around 700. So it's like, okay, I'm expecting quite a bit for, you know, 700. That's a lot of horsepower even in today's world. But based on my butt dyno, I would probably guess somewhere in the neighborhood of like 5, maybe 550. It moves. It moves just fine, but you know, this is the type of car you really don't want to go fast in. This type of car you want to cruise in, and it does cruise. It sounds pretty mellow. It's a good cruiser. It cruises down the road really nicely, but if you need to step into it to get out into traffic, get around a car or whatever, it will definitely do it. It's backed by a turbo 400 transmission. I believe it has a Ford 8-inch rear end, which I was kind of surprised about, and it is an open diff, so it's a one-legger. So yeah, I mean, off the line, it will just light up that one tire for days. One thing I did think about doing was replacing the rims. Rims are kind of dated as well based on the build, but in looking at other rim choices, and I have found a few that I think would look better, I just don't think it's worth spending the extra $1,200–1,500 to replace the rims. I think I'll just end up doing tires, because the tires are date coded like 1995, which is when I suspect the vehicle was built. So it definitely needs tires, but I don't think I'll be putting rims on it. Started up good. Let it warm up for a minute, but as you guys can hear, it's a pretty mellow sounding vehicle. That's the first thing I thought of when the prior owner fired it up for me. It's fairly mellow sounding, and that's cool. Like I said, it's just a cruiser, but yeah. Okay, this thing actually, it rides pretty nice, even like over the rough roads. This is a rougher road, and it rides nice. It's got a really nice driving position. I like the way I sit in it. I like the leg room in it. I like the way it cruises. It's just a nice car to drive. It wouldn't be a bad place to, you know, be behind the wheel of it for an hour or even two going someplace, and I think it would do very well there. Just got to get it kind of dialed in. So I'll let some temperature come up in it, as I always do, and then I'll step into it a little bit. Not really too much off the line, 'cause it's just going to want to spin the tire, especially with tires that are day coated back in the 90s and being a one-legger. But yeah, it's a nice place to be. I like the way it holds the road. I like the way it cruises. It brakes well. Really no complaints about it. I think if I were going to keep the car, like I said, I wouldn't do a color change if I'm really going to keep it long term, but I'd upgrade the rims and tires. I want to put air in this thing. I think this car deserves an air conditioning, and I want to put power windows in it. But other than that, just cruising. When I first got it, the signals weren't working. I figured that out. It was a very easy fix, and I'm thinking probably with the brake lights, it's probably like brake light switch, since both of them were out, because apparently the brake lights didn't work before. I mean, just like that, we're well into breaking the speed limit. So it does go, and it sounds good when you get into it. Just, it's a really nice cruiser. Like I said, I like it. I was very tempted to want to keep it. Very tempted to want to keep this car and take it to Tennessee, and I may still, but I really doubt it. I just think the logistics of everything, it's just smarter for me just to take my 6 and work on that there as far as that goes, and then I can get more vehicles when I get there. So, you know, initially I was thinking, okay, keep the Falcon, keep this one, take them with me, but I don't think that I will. I think it's smarter to sell them. Enjoy